Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise with my colleagues on this side of the House to challenge the authenticity of this budget before us in this National Assembly. Permit me, I want to quote from this book here, Our Plan for Prosperity. But before I do that, permit me to offer my condolences to the family of the Henrys and Harry Singh. My heart bleeds with them, and so is my family, and so are all the colleagues over this side. I would also like to congratulate you on your appointment as Speaker of the National Assembly, and pray God shower His perfect health on you so that you can function in accordance with the oath of your office as we plan to do from this side of the House. Permit me to state, first of all, Mr. Speaker, I've learned from the honorable ministers, members of foreign from the government side, talking about agriculture, housing, education. I would like to say to the honorable speaker before me that I was one of the recipients of a proud house lot on the west coast of the Demerara there. And when it was received, I had to take a picture like he did to housing because it was a trench. I was told that they would have thrown dirt on the land. What they did was just clear some bushes there so the water falls, and there it is that was a but thanks to the one-stop shop for house lot. And therefore, at Say West Demerara there, I got another plot of land. But it took the APNU administration to really realize that dream. That's solution for housing, sir. Now, I can talk to Region 8 because I encourage boys in the area from the quarantine to purchase house lots for themselves in Region 8. And that was done somewhere around the airstrip area. Lo and behold, Mr. Speaker, these boys, their lots are now given to other people because of this change of system. All right, let's get back to the real crux of the matter. Mr. Speaker, today I would like to look at hinterland and indigenous peoples of Region 8. Let's look at some public affairs quickly. Mr. Speaker, I'm quoting from this fancy book here, Our Plan for Prosperity, Protecting Our People in a COVID-19 Environment, Strengthening Democracy and the Rule of Law, Incentivizing Growth and Job Creation, Enhancing Welfare. Mr. Speaker, our forest people, for the last years I was told, were given lofty promises. They were sold candy dreams, but no delivery, more jobs, improved health care, more access to education. That's what's promised, Mr. Speaker. But I arrived in March 2004. Now, Mr. Speaker, I was told, I learned from previous speaker on that side of the House that 2,000 young Amerindians were out of work, and so they were called CSOs. I am proud to say, sir, that I had visited one of those communities where those people were. And I can say they were handpicked lacked proper training, and they were going to teach people's children. And I'm talking there about the delivery of education. They were giving me a lecture. They were giving me a lecture on teacher training. And I had done that in 1976 to 79. Mr. Speaker, these young people were just talking about what the previous administration did, that is the PPPC administration, rather than get involved in the delivery of education for young children. I guess they were handpicked from different families, just like in Paramakatoy and K2 and some other villages on the North Pacaraimas. I withdraw that. Mr. Speaker, on the education front, I noticed on between 2015, the secondary level, I was privileged to be there. And so, the mathematics department enjoyed a 10% increase in passes, thanks to the APNU government and administration, which saw the need for recalling retired people to work with young people. And someone on that side of the house talk about rehiring and some rehashing. Check the records, please. Now, I don't think a CSO can do that. Now, at Paramakatoy, this administration, this APNU administration, inherited a school at K2 that was not, that lacked defects. But thanks to this Granger-led administration that straightened all those things, and today, thank you very much, Brother Edgil. Now, I was privy to sit in a consultation, and I'm talking about dinner for two. And I thought that was a great consultation. But after that little movie, Dinner for Two, then some bits of papers were passed around for people to sign as they were consulted. I want to suggest, Mr. Speaker, that this plan for prosperity that was done in a record, is it 21 days? 21 days? Maybe was done with that in mind. Mr. Speaker, in Region 8, education, I'm looking at line 610, education delivery, there's an increase of 45% in 2019 from an APNU budget. And I'm talking about the employment cost. And it was increased by 45% in 2020. Now, Mr. Speaker, can the Honorable Minister say to this Honorable House what is responsible for this increase? Bearing in mind that I was bombarded with VAT reduction and tax rebates and what have you, that would put more money in people's pocket. Let me move along to health services delivery. And it's enjoying, the same line item is enjoying a 36% increase. Public Works also is enjoying 23% increase. We need answers, Mr. Speaker, for all these increases while fuel is being VAT zero rate, the rate on VAT is taken off. But, Mr. Speaker, permit me to draw your attention to a couple of things in this official report. And as I speak about sustainable livelihood, I'm talking about the SLEDGE program that was encouraged by the APNU administration. Women, I learned from speakers on the other side of the house, that nothing was done in Madhya. Nothing was done in Region 8. So I'm saying that women, boys and girls, were given the opportunity to be trained, and especially single mothers, in heavy duty equipment. Thus, with that skill, they should be able to earn a living in the mining industry. I also want to bring to this House, Mr. Speaker, that the fact that even at Cato, because of this administration and intervention in education, even the dorms will have to be, and I want to encourage those on the other side of the House to ensure they work along with the APNU so that more children could be seated, could be housed in dorms. More children can have access to education, and more children could, could, be, could be better qualified to work in their region, as alluded by the Honorable Minister of Labor on the other side of the House here. Now, but he spoke to the issue of only allowing people from region to be trained and to work there and not to. And now we are one people, we are one nation with one destiny. How selfish it is for this budget to seek only to segregate us and not allow us to intermingle, work, learn from each other, and so support each other in the development of this dear land of ours. Mr. Speaker, I learned from speakers on the other side of the house that there was no the infrastructures in the country was very bad. It was in a very deplorable state. But I can say, Mr. Speaker, that I enjoy the privileges of traveling with people from the GGMC and the road network, not only in Mariatown, but in Campbelltown and its environment, in Mycobi, in El Paso, where the road was dusty and it took hours to get from one village to the next. It's now very smooth, thanks to the APNU government led by David Otto Granger. I'm talking about from Maja to the landing down at Putaro. I'm talking about from Linden to Mubura. I'm talking about from the crossing at Garaway Stream to Maja. I'm talking from about Bartica to Madia. Thank God that we have a visionary leader. And I trust that people in Madia, Region 8, now, Mr. Speaker, I learned from the Honorable Speaker before me about electioneering. I worked as a poll clerk in Region 6 before. And I can voter impersonation, sir. But then also I learned, okay, we learned that VAT is going to be taken out from certain commodities so that more people can get access to vehicles so we can move around. We considered the carbon emission from these vehicles that we are going to bring in, especially the older ones? What? Now, we're talking about, in this part of the house, we talk about green state, a green state. But I learned that in some areas of this country, they are cutting out the trees that should purify the air for us all to breathe. What madness is this? And I thought that maybe was part and parcel of the consultation for this budget presentation. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that I learned from an honorable Speaker of the House here that nothing was done in the region. But thanks, and this is a reminder from what my colleague before me said, thanks to the head of Gaiwa, we can have water available to 1,200 homes in the North Pacaraimans. Yes, they'll get that. School children can have access to education and not one child, no child left behind. Because
Honorable member, you will need an extension to conclude.
Comrade Speaker, I do move that the honourable member be given 5 minutes to conclude his presentation.
Thank you very much, honorable member. You may conclude.
thank you, Honorable Speaker of the House. We are told that no maintenance work was done in the region, but for your information, sir, and I want this House to note that every village on the North Pacaraimans were given opportunities that the community could get hands-on and contract to clear drainage for their villages, to enhance the road network. And we're talking here about community involvement, and the money that accrued from that could be used to help their children for their education. Yes? Mr. Speaker, infrastructural work, Mr. Speaker. There are better roads to access Majo, where a journey took 9 hours now can take 4 or 5 hours. Speaking about infrastructure, now there is the hospital has been renovated. There's a new scheme by the airstrip, and right now as we speak, there is a spanking new building for the law court so that our friends who are lawyers on the other side of the house can go practice law here. And not only that, there are units built for housing for different key areas that people from Region 8, seeing that Maja has become a town, will not have to travel to Georgetown to get basic arrangements on like board certificates, business license for businesses. That speaks to development, Mr. Speaker, and not what is coined in this arrangement here. That is similar to the two dinner for two arrangement. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.